I have to say that we were a little disappointed in the reaction of the Colombian government, which apparently expressed heartfelt condolences on the loss of lives in Pakistan after the Indian strikes, rather than sympathizing with the victims of terrorism. There can be no equivalence between those who dispatch terrorists and those who resist them.
आतंकवाद के खिलाफ भारत निरंतर लड़ाई करता आ रहा है और अब इस लड़ाई को दुनिया भर के सामने पहुंचाने की जरूरत है। ऐसे में सरकार द्वारा सांसदों का प्रतिनिधि मंडल दुनिया भर के अलग अलग देशों में भेजा गया है। इसी कड़ी में कांग्रेस सांसद शशि थरूर के नेतृत्व में सर्वदलीय प्रतिनिधि मंडल कोलंबिया के बोगोटा पहुंचा। यहां गुलदस्ता देकर उनका स्वागत किया गया। सर्वदलीय प्रतिनिधि मंडल के नेता शशि थरूर ने कोलंबिया को उसी की धरती पर निशाने पर लिया। सुनिए।
I have to say that we were a little disappointed in the reaction of the Colombian government, which apparently expressed heartfelt condolences on the loss of lives in Pakistan after the Indian strikes, rather than sympathizing with the victims of terrorism. There can be no equivalence between those who dispatch terrorists and those who resist them. I have to say that we were a little disappointed in the reaction of the Colombian government, which apparently expressed heartfelt condolences on the loss of lives in Pakistan after the Indian strikes, rather than sympathizing with the victims of terrorism. We will say to our friends in Colombia, there can be no equivalence between those who dispatch terrorists and those who resist them. There can be no equivalence between those who attack and those who defend. We are only exercising our right of self-defense, and if there is any misunderstanding here on this score, we are here to dispel any such misunderstanding. We're very happy to talk to Colombia in some detail about the circumstances. We have, as I said, very concrete proof. In fact, when this terrorist attack occurred, it was immediately claimed by an organization called the Resistance Front, which is a unit of the Lashkar-e-Toiba based in Muridke, Pakistan. There is no doubt that they reiterated this credit the next day. It is only after their handlers realized the damage this could do that they then deleted the claim 2 days later. But the claim has been made. There is no doubt as to where this came from. And we will reserve always the right to hit back. Just as Colombia has endured many terror attacks, so have we in India. We have endured a very large number of attacks for almost 4 decades. Frankly, it is now very well established that Pakistan has been breeding the monsters of terrorism for a very long time for their own purposes. We all know that when Osama bin Laden was being hunted around the world, it was Pakistan that gave him shelter. The Americans found him in a safe house in an army, near an army base in a cantonment city. In other words, they found him and killed him, the world's most wanted terrorist, in Pakistan, a country which sadly has incubated terrorism for some years now, for at least 4 decades now. And for this reason, we would like the government and people of Colombia to understand that there should be no equivalence. Lives lost may be lives lost, but the lives lost in India were those of tourists, of civilians, of nuns, of worshippers, of ordinary people. The lives that were lost in Pakistan were the lives of terrorists, well-known terrorists. There is a difference. On your second question as to where the damage was done this time overwhelmingly in the states bordering Pakistan, that is in Jammu and Kashmir. Also, I think they might turn this off, the sound is not right. Also in one or two districts of our neighboring state of Punjab, which is right next door to Pakistan, and to somewhat lesser extent in the state of Rajasthan. In other words, the Pakistani shelling was particularly affecting our border states, and these states took the burden of having to thwart the missiles. But we were well prepared to defend these states. These are our border states. We defend them well, and we were able to prevent any significant loss of life. There was some property damage, considerable property damage in some places. But it was only in Kashmir that lives were lost. First 26 on the 22nd of April, and then further 19 on the 8th of May. And that is, for us, 45 lives too many. There are still 59 people in hospital, or they were when we left India a week ago. It's a very, very serious situation. There was also, I would say, my friend, an intention on the part of the terrorists to provoke a negative reaction in India against our brothers and sisters from the Muslim community. The terrorists specifically asked if people were Hindu or non-Muslim before shooting them dead. There were 25 Hindus, one of them from Nepal, and one Christian who was shot dead. In addition, of course, the shells killed Sikhs and Christians as well. But I say this to you that India very proudly stayed united. There were some brief moments of anger, as you can understand, in every society, but very quickly India rallied around the unity that is embodied in our country's constitution and the national flag, and we stayed as one voice. I should have mentioned at the very beginning of my remarks, let me do so now, that my colleagues and I represent 5 political parties in India, we represent 7 different states in India, and we represent different languages, different religions. We have 3 religions amongst the 7 of us. We are truly reflective of the diversity of India, whether it's linguistic diversity, political diversity, religious diversity. But we are united in the message we have brought to you in Colombia.